So John, you're in the reasonably enviable position of spending time every year here at Hood Aerodrome with the Vintage Aviator Limited and time back in the UK doing vintage aviation and other things in the UK. So that's nice. How did you get involved with the Vintage Aviator to start with?
Well, my wife and I have been coming to New Zealand now for several years as tourists, and then made the decision to actually get a property over here. So we now feel much more embedded in New Zealand. And I had inquired about flying and various activities at Masterton. Was then approached, shall we say, having mentioned to somebody that I volunteer with the Shuttleworth Collection in the UK, and got involved within weeks with the Vintage Aviator, who seemed to be very welcoming and maybe appreciative of somebody coming with some experience from the other side of the world.
Right, so it was as easy as that?
It was as easy as that, and it was very welcome.
So what is it that you do on the other side of the world in Shuttleworth in general?
Well, I'm one of the many volunteers at Old Warden, but in particular I get involved with taking tours around, in particular and in the recent past with school groups who can be from age 5 or 6, really young primary school children, through to teenagers. And obviously I've done adult tours as well for visitors who come to the site. So basically I take them around, give them the story of the Shuttleworth Collection, how it came into being, but naturally enough, of course, talk about the various eras of aircraft and how they've developed.
Right. So how long have you been involved with Shuttleworth?
I've been involved since 2010. It seems like a lifetime, but it's been a pleasurable experience. I became involved because after a career in industry, I went to work at Cranfield University, and the then chief pilot at Cranfield was also the chief pilot at Shuttleworth. So that was Dodge Bailey, and one thing leads to another, and I began to volunteer there.
Brilliant. So what was your career background? Was it aviation related?
It was aerospace related, in that indeed I trained as an aeronautical engineer. I was an aerodynamicist by speciality to begin with. I'm actually a missile person. So yes, you don't ride on the ones that I helped design. I joined what was British Aircraft Corporation for, as I thought, just a short period pre-university, and actually left them 38 years later. So I'd had a variety of jobs. I then I retired myself early out of that, after a very interesting career in engineering, management, doing things internationally, which had kept me active there for all that period of time, but decided to retire early from that. Went to work, as I thought, for a few months at Cranfield University to help out one of my old colleagues, and 13 years later I left them. But that also gave me the chance to get back into flying, because Cranfield is based on an airfield. We had trainer aircraft to give students air experience. I had had a PPL since I was a 17-year-old, but with a very long gap. So after 40 years of inactivity, I got my PPL back, and that's actually been one of the reasons we've come to New Zealand on occasion, and I've done flying the like of which I never would have dreamt about when I started, flying around Mount Aspiring, Mount Cook and such like. It's been wonderful. Right.
So with the experience you have now, both sides of the world, I mean, what would you say to any other aviation enthusiasts in the UK in terms of, a lot of them will hear about the Vintage Aviator if they've got any interest in World War I, but of course Warbirds over Wanaka has been a big name that a lot of people would know for a lot of years with the air show that Tim Wallace set up.
Indeed.
So I think a lot of enthusiasts in the UK know that there's stuff happening in New Zealand, but perhaps don't know too much about it. What would you say to them?
I would say if they've got the opportunity to come over and take a look and experience it, do it, because if they're anything like I was when I first came and started seeing the collection here, things at Omaka, for example, things that were happening at Wanaka, then they would be impressed. Really doesn't do it. You know, they would be astonished. They would be for sure blown away by the amount of artifacts which are here, by the aircraft, you know, behind me, by the enthusiasm and the skill, the expertise, the sheer, well, everything to do with what it takes to keep these old airplanes, you know, be they genuinely old, you know, 100 years old plus, or indeed more modern day reproductions, which are exquisite in detail. You're going to find it here, with in the background all the things which then make up the historical story around it. So if they've got the opportunity, if they've got the budget, they can afford the time, they don't mind spending hours in an airplane flying across the other side of the world, come and do it. And I am sure I speak on behalf of people here, they will find a welcome. And this is something which my wife and I have been very, very pleased to, you know, to experience. The welcoming, come on in. They don't think that you're from the other side of the world, you're just part of a wider family, and it's been wonderful.
Right, oh, that's great to hear. And I've said to a lot of UK friends over the years as well, if they're particularly interested in seeing whether it's World War I aircraft of the Vintage Aviator or other historical and warbird aircraft, that seeing them in New Zealand, particularly at an official display, is quite different from the UK in terms of how close you are to the action.
Yes, indeed. There are...
Shuttleworth is a little different in that regard.
Indeed, but yes, you do feel very much part of things, I would say. Close to the action, as you put it. Yeah. And it just adds just that extra something exciting about it all. So I would encourage people, I know it's a long way, I know it's expensive, trust me, I know it's expensive, but it's, you know, it's a great experience.
Great. So you plan on sticking around here and volunteering with the Vintage Aviator for a while yet then?
For as long as people would have me. I seem to have now become one of the regular tour group here, you know, guiding people who come for car groups and such like come. You'll appreciate we're not open generally to the public, but we can take organised groups around. Yeah, yeah. So yes, and I just need to adjust my presentation style to this side of the world. It's certainly a pitfall that a Brit can fall into, shall we say, when you start talking about early aviation, not to remember early pioneers of New Zealand aviation.
So you've been called out on that, have you?
Yes, in describing the early years, you know, 1903, the Wright brothers, and they were the first and that type of thing, for a voice at the back of the group to say, no, they weren't, it was Richard Pearse. But it was Richard Pearse's great niece, I think. Right. So I would allow her that
yeah,
possibility
one of the great mysteries
the
of New Zealand aviation history. Did he
yes,
or didn't he?
Did he or didn't he?
Yeah,
indeed,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for that chat, John. And yeah, hopefully some of your UK compatriots will come out here and check us out at some stage.
I hope they do. And you know, speaking on behalf of in an official capacity, if you like, on behalf of the Shuttleworth Collection, then I'm sure that New Zealand visitors will be very welcome at Old Warden.
Brilliant.
We share a common interest.
Thank you, John.
My pleasure.
If you'd like access to our ever-increasing playlist of exclusive members-only videos, hit the join button and become a member of our channel for only a couple of dollars a month. For just a couple of dollars more, you can also get access to our full streaming video channel at historicalmachines.tv, which features full-length documentary programs. We'd love it if you'd support our efforts to preserve this visual history of these wonderful machines.